Hi, fire starters. Okay, so I've been nervous about making this video all day, and I know I said that on my last video, and it's not like I haven't been on social media before, but I think this channel, because it's geared more towards me showing my vulnerable side, I just get more and more nervous about like who's gonna see it and when, and am I oversharing, and just like, still trying to keep some level of privacy while also, showing my vulnerable side and just trying to be an inspiration to someone, sharing some of my experiences and just being more honest with myself about some things. So today I woke up with a little bit of a heavy heart, and it's because around this time, um, I would be typically planning Friendsgiving with some of my friends. So I guess I don't know, some of my former friends. I may have to refer to them as at this point. But as of a couple of years ago, I don't have that friend group anymore. I kind of got kicked out of that friend group. Um, a lot of I used to say I didn't know why, um, but I kind of do. I started my entrepreneurial journey several years back, and I've had to miss out on, some experiences with the friends and the friend group, and I am now just really grasping that everybody's journey is different, and I'm getting to a point where I'm not ashamed of my journey anymore. And so it may be taking me a little bit longer than anybody, myself included, expected to reach where I want to be in this journey. I started a couple of businesses. I failed fast all a couple of businesses. I'm not afraid to say that anymore either. But as far as like my friend group and where I am now, um, we used to this is actually around the time where we would actually be, setting up our secret Santa gifts and planning to travel to a particular friend's house to celebrate Friendsgiving before we celebrate the holidays with our families. And a couple years ago, I kind of got a call from one of the ladies, and hindsight is 2020. So looking back, it was probably my last chance call. I think when the young lady and I had the conversation, she mentioned how I would kind of miss several events that the friends had, and I made it seem as if I was too busy for the friend group. And I'm not gonna lie, I probably did make it seem as if I was too busy, but in reality, it wasn't that I was too busy. It was that maybe I just couldn't afford to do some of the things they had going on. I didn't have, a lot of the financial support that they had. They have spouses. I actually was going through a divorce at the time, or finishing up a divorce, or, getting my life back together from a divorce. So I couldn't always like afford to do a lot of the things that they had planned, like trips out of town and, just different things, dinner. I'm in Atlanta, a lot of them are in the Midwest. And so maybe I did code some of the reasoning for not being able to be with the friend group during certain times. Never Friendsgiving though. I always try to make it to Friendsgiving. But maybe some of the times I couldn't make it to, some of the trips or some of the brunches or whatever. I made it seem like I had to work, which I did, because I eat what I kill. But a lot of the times I just couldn't make it because I couldn't afford to go. I couldn't afford to keep up. And so, yeah, I had work, but I couldn't afford to keep up with, going out to dinner. And I didn't want to be the person, even though let me preface this by saying, although, I may not have had the funds to always do some of the things that they did, Financially, truly, somebody always had my back in that department. But I think it was just my level of embarrassment of just being like, oh, I should be at this point, and here they are growing in their careers, getting promotions, things like that, and I'm just a lowly entrepreneur, and my business just wasn't at the level to where I could, it was either, put the money in the business or pay or survive off the money that I was making. So it was either business or survive off the money I was making. So a lot of the times I couldn't make some of the things that they were doing. And I'm not ashamed of it, right? I was embarrassed of it at the time. I'm not ashamed of it anymore. Um, and I could see how they could take that. They could have taken that as she just don't show up. But I always showed up for Friendsgiving because I thought that was the most important part of us getting together with, basically me being out of state. Actually, I had another friend who was out of state, is closer to me too, but she always made it to just other trips or whatever. She would say she couldn't make it or whatever. But for some reason, when I said I couldn't make it, I just didn't get the grace that I would give to others in the group. But that's okay. But yeah, my heart is a little heavy today. I miss my friends. I miss my friend group. But there are just certain elements that, maybe God is saying it's time to move on, or we have to redevelop the terms of our friendship. And I'm just kind of learning to live with that. I have friends, I have other friends, but these were friends like I considered like sisters, like they were up there with my actual sister. Of course, going through life, now I understand like nobody's up there with my actual sister, and even she and I'm gonna make a video about that, sometime in the future. But even she and I are relearning each other as adults and in our adulthood, and just learning to be friends, be more than sisters, just be friends, best friends. And so we're navigating through that space as adults, and I'm enjoying it because we're reaching new heights in our relationship and just a new level of respect. Another thing that I miss the camaraderie of the friend group and the support of the friend group in some areas, but I also think, of the times where, I was the butt of the joke a lot of times, and there was not a great deal of respect for me when I started to take on this entrepreneur journey, not just in my friend group, but in family, as well. That girl quit that good old job to become an entrepreneur, and I'm sure a lot of us entrepreneurs have that story where, can quit that good old job, quit that good old 9 to 5 to become an entrepreneur and struggle in certain areas. And for me, it's been worth it. I am now to a point where I'm growing and I am developing. My failures have become lessons, and so I'm able to use that in just different other ways and different other businesses. But today, my heart is just a little heavy because I miss having a friend group. And maybe, my season has come to an end with that friend group. Maybe we'll reconnect. I'm not sure. It's all in God's hands. But I do know if we do, in the event we have to, or in the event that God allows us to reconnect, I am, going to require another level of respect. For myself, I'm going to require myself to show up a little bit more. Their kids are much older and they probably don't even remember me, but that's okay. But I know where I lacked in some areas, and I know where they lacked in some areas. But just to kind of lose the whole friend group at the same time, really, it really does hurt. It really did break my heart, and it's just times like these where, Friendsgiving comes around. I just kind of woke up with a little bit of a heavy heart this morning, but I'm going to be okay. I still have some wonderful friends in my life. I just have to redevelop my core. I did wake up to a message from Pastor Mike, PMJ. If y'all look him up, PMJ. And the message was called "Let Them Go." So that could have been a prophetic message from God. I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna take it as, I don't know, take it as it is for right now, and I'm just gonna ask God to just keep guiding the course of my life and just count it all joy. Just everything works out for the greater good of God, and I'm just going to just move that way. But yeah, so that is it for now. Like, I don't know, y'all. It's the holidays. I hope y'all enjoying them. I'm gonna count it all joy. Lately I think I told y'all in another video that I'm just gonna choose joy in every situation. I maybe posted it on Facebook, but anyway, I'm saying it on video, live, in person. I'm just gonna choose, even though I woke up with a heavy heart, I just wish everybody the best. And I'm going to count it all joy in every situation. I'm going to thank God for everything that he's done for me, everything that he's doing, everything that he's protected me from. Because maybe he's protecting me from some things that I don't need. But I'm going to count it all joy, and I'm going to enjoy every piece of life that God has come in my way. And I'm just excited for the things God has planned for me. And yeah, that's what it is.